Okay, people, here's another little short video. I swear, I get so tired of saying I told you so, but I told you so. You know, I need a vacation from stupidity. I just don't do stupid. And here it is. People, wake the WTF up.
Manipulation directly impacting our Second Amendment rights. Now, Biden's nominee to head the ATF unwittingly revealed how Democrats have used language to deprive us of basic freedoms when senators today pinned him down.
Do you believe in banning assault weapons?
I do, sir.
Okay. Define assault weapons.
Assault weapons would be something that members of Congress would define.
Well, how do you define it? You're going to be running the agency.
Senator, the bill to ban assault weapons is
what is your
dozens of
definition of an
pages.
assault
There's no way I could define an assault weapon.
Give me your definition.
I can give you one definition.
If you won't answer my question, how can I vote for you? I'm done, Mr. Chairman. I don't think I'm going to get an answer.
When Senator Tom Cotton got his shot, he hit a bullseye.
Can you tell me what is an assault weapon? How would you define it if you were the head of the ATF? How have you defined it over the last several years as your role as a gun control advocate?
I know there's a Demand Letter 3 program, which requires multiple reports. ATF in that program has defined an assault rifle as any semi-automatic rifle capable of accepting a detachable magazine above the caliber of .22, which would include a .223, which is, largely the AR-15 round.
I'm amazed that might be the definition of assault weapon. That would basically cover every single modern sporting rifle in America today.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, every
Well,
rifle.
language matters, and the term assault weapon itself is made up and meaningless. It's just meant to scare people into thinking they should be banned, and no matter what Democrats say, it will be used to justify an eventual confiscation of guns in America.
Not this one.
Senator Feinstein's bill, which a supermajority of senators voted against in a Democratic Senate. You said that bill didn't go far enough and you wanted an even broader ban to...
Senator Feinstein's bill did not address those firearms that are currently in the possession of Americans. Those firearms could be treated under the NFA and regulated that way.
You don't just want to make it illegal to sell those rifles, but you want to actively have government go after the people who currently possess firearms, and if they don't register and submit to all of the onerous restrictions of the National Firearms Act, presumably confiscate their weapons.
I prefer a system where the AR-15 and other assault weapons are regulated under the National Firearms Act.
There's no assault weapons, asshole.
Does that comfort you? Look, Biden has pretended to be a moderate on
Jesus
gun rights,
Christ.
but he's surrounded himself with radicals like that guy who publicly ridicule gun owners.
They might think that they're diehard, ready to go, but unfortunately they're more like Tiger King, and they're putting themselves and their families in danger. Hide it behind the cans of tuna and beef jerky that you've stored in a cabinet, and only bring that out if the zombies start to appear.
The zombie apocalypse, that's the only reason people own guns. Now, it's obvious that this guy who's representing Joe Biden's views does not believe in the Second Amendment and does not believe that Americans should be trusted with guns, period. We know what this means, what it's going to look like, right? Only criminals will have guns and innocent people will be at risk. Now, all over the country, left-wing cities are being destroyed right now by crime. New York, Chicago, Baltimore, Minneapolis. California has among the toughest gun laws in the nation, the assault weapons ban that Shipman wants, and yet a deranged man still shot and killed 8 people there today in San Jose. So the left's position on guns is not only unconstitutional, it's utter madness, especially when combined with their hatred of the police. So wherever the left ends up gaining power, criminals end up being emboldened, and good people find themselves in more danger. It's tragic that so many people in our cities have fallen prey to the left's lies, and they blame their problems on the honest gun owners of this country. We have to keep doing everything we can to alert the good people of crime-ridden cities who live there that there is a better way. But in the meantime, the GOP and every sane Democrat must steadfastly resist any effort to promote the left's pro-crime agenda. The positions they're taking are contrary to our Constitution, they're immoral, and they're insane. No matter what Democrats say, no matter how they try to manipulate language and hide the truth, we all have to recognize the reality. They want to take all privately owned guns in the country and prevent Americans from owning guns ever again. That's their true position, as it has been since the 1960s. And we have to resist it with everything we've got. Because once our freedoms are lost, they're very difficult to regain. And that's the angle. Chipman, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. Senator, conservatives get mocked when they claim that the left wants a massive gun grab in the United States. But I think this testimony today showed us that's exactly where we are.
Yeah, Laura, that's exactly what David Chipman and Joe Biden want. They want to confiscate virtually all modern sporting rifles in America. You know, Laura, I asked David Chipman, a notorious gun grabber, a very simple question. He said he wants an assault weapons ban. So I said, what is an assault weapon? And he couldn't answer it, Laura. The reason he can't answer it is there is no such thing as an assault weapon.
That's
It's
right.
a term that's made up by liberal lawyers and pollsters in Washington who are trying to scare Americans into acquiescing into gun confiscation. He did, however, in the exchange at one moment say something very illuminating and very troubling. He said that he would define it maybe as any rifle with a detachable magazine that has a 22 round or larger. Laura, that would be almost every modern sporting rifle in America. We're not talking about millions of firearms. We're talking about tens of millions of firearms that Joe Biden's ATF nominee wants to outlaw and confiscate.
Well, you know, we've had the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, Senator, try to convince us that the way to keep things safe in America is not to, honor the police and try to work with them. There's another path. Watch.
Jen Psaki.
I would say certainly there is a guns problem, and that's something the president would say. And there are communities where local violence and community violence is an issue, and that's one of the reasons that we have proposed and have now are implementing funding for community violence prevention programs across the country.
Community violence prevention programs, Senator. I think they have that in Minnesota right now. How's that working out?
Yeah, what we have, Laura, in this country is a crime problem. The Democrats have been waging a war on the police for years. Now Joe Biden has made that Joe Biden's war on the police. Look, there is no greater champion for the police than I. We should respect them. We should esteem them. We should support their work. We should give them more training, more resources. However, when seconds count, the police are only minutes away. That's why so many Americans have firearms, to protect themselves, to protect their families inside their homes.
Also, just moving to another topic for a moment, Senator, we keep hearing dribs and drabs coming out about the attempt to purge our military of extremists. But it's pretty clear in how this is going down, but what they really mean is a political purge of the U.S. military, of anyone who perhaps voted for President Trump, conservative leanings. How concerned are you about this, and why should Republicans give another cent of funding to a Pentagon that seems to be at war with many of its own soldiers, airmen, and every other branch of the government?
Well, Laura, I am worried about some of the political correctness that has entered into our military, to include at the senior flag officer rank. Last week when we spoke about this, I encouraged people to contact my office at cotton.senate.gov if they've been exposed to this kind of training that says one race is inherently privileged or other races are inherently victimized or oppressed. We've gotten good feedback, actually. We've got some people sending in their concerns. I just want to say again tonight, if you're out there anywhere around the world and you're worried that you're not focused on training to fight and win our country's wars, but rather to be indoctrinated along the lines that the Democrats are proposing in Congress so often, Chipman, please contact my office so we can actually do something about it in the Congress.
That's right.
Senator, great to see you. Thank you so much for holding Mr. Chipman's feet to the fire on this. And in less than 24 hours, the Biden administration went from dismissing the need for a U.S.-led COVID origins investigation to kind of greenlighting one.
The president believes there needs to be an independent investigation, one that's run by the international community.
Today, the president asked the intelligence community to